If you fix this one thing inside your cells keeping you bald like I did, would you take action in the next 30 days to grow your hair? If I told you your hair didn't stop growing because it fell out, but because the power was slowly shut off inside the cell, would you stay with me for 15 minutes? And if fixing that power problem meant committing to 30 days of simple intentional action, would you actually do it? Because hair doesn't begin on your scalp. It begins inside your cells, long before thinning becomes visible. Today I'm going to show you the one system inside your cells that quietly keeps people bald, why most hair routines completely ignore it, and understanding this changes everything about regrowth. Before we go further, we need to slow down because most people talk about hair loss using surface level words such as oils, shampoos, hormones, genetics. But almost no one explains what actually powers a hair follicle. So let's define the terms first, clearly and visually, so you know exactly what we're talking about. The cell. Every strand of hair you grow comes from cells inside the follicle. Not dead tissue, not static material. Hair follicles are some of the most metabolically active structures in the human body, which means they demand energy constantly. Inside every one of these cells are tiny structures called mitochondria, like your high school science. Mitochondria are known as the power plants of the cell. Picture a city. Buildings equal cells. Electricity is energy. Power stations is mitochondria. If the power station slows down, the building doesn't collapse immediately. It just shuts rooms down one by one. That's how hair loss begins. Mitochondria produce something called ATP. ATP is cellular energy. It's what allows a cell to divide, repair, signal growth, and maintain function. Hair follicles require a huge amount of ATP because hair growth is not passive. It's an active construction process. It's a full-time job. No ATP, no construction. A healthy hair follicle needs 3 things consistently: oxygen, nutrients, energy. Most people focus on the first 2. Very few ask, what if the cell can't use them? You can deliver nutrients all day long, but if mitochondria are damaged, sluggish, or overwhelmed, it's like pouring a fuel into a generator that doesn't spark. Nothing turns on. Mitochondria don't fail overnight. They slow down gradually. Think of an old power plant. Rust builds up, waste accumulates, and output decreases. Inside your cells, this looks like oxidative stress, poor metabolic signaling, inflammation, reduced ATP production. Hair follicles respond by conserving energy. They shorten the growth phase, they produce thinner hair, and eventually they go dormant. That's where miniaturization starts. Not dead, dormant. Here's the part that changes how you see hair loss forever. Your follicle doesn't stop growing hair because it's broken. It stops because it made a survival decision, like the fight and flight. When energy becomes scarce, the body prioritizes brain, heart, and organs. Hair is not essential for survival. So the power is redirected, and the follicle enters a low power mode, just like your laptop does or your phone. Most people keep treating the scalp, while the real problem is happening inside the cell. Most people think topical hair products work by forcing hair to grow, like minoxidil or finasteride. That's not how biology works. Hair follicles don't respond to force, they respond to signals. A healthy topical doesn't just sit on the scalp, it changes the environment around the follicle, and that environment sends messages inward. Here's the key distinction most people miss. Some topicals only coat the scalp, others actually communicate with the follicle. When the right compounds reach the follicle, blood flow improves, local inflammation calms, and oxygen availability increases. And most importantly, the follicle receives a signal that says conditions are improving, it's safe to come back online. Just like you need to feel safe every single day going home from work. Even when mitochondria activity is low, because mitochondria don't work in isolation. They respond to their surroundings. Cellular truth most brands ignore. Mitochondria are not permanently off. They are responsive. When the follicle environment improves, stress signals decrease and survival mode eases. ATP production can gradually increase. This is why some people see regrowth even when internal markers aren't perfect. The follicle wasn't dead, it was waiting. When people plateau, it's usually not because the product stopped working. It's because the internal environment stayed hostile. The signal wasn't reinforced consistently, or the follicles never stayed out of survival mode long enough. Hair growth is not a switch. It's a conversation between the scalp, cell, and time. When the conversation continues, results compound. That is why formulations that support scalp circulation, reduce oxidative stress, improve follicle signaling, can work even when mitochondria are underperforming every single day. They don't replace cellular energy, they invite the cell back into growth mode. Come online. That distinction matters. Here's the good news. Mitochondria are adaptive. They respond to improved metabolic signals, reduced inflammatory stress, better oxygen utilization, consistent nutrient availability. When mitochondria function improves, ATP production increases. Growth signals resume. Follicles receive a message. It's safe to grow again. Come online. Talk to me. This doesn't happen overnight. But over 30 days, cells can shift out of survival mode. That's when people notice reduced shedding, improved texture, stronger regrowth over time. Now here's the part most people actually want to know. How do you help mitochondria come back online? So I'm going to give you the step-by-step, not with hacks, not with extremes, but by restoring the conditions they respond to. Step number 1, reduce the energy drain first. Mitochondria don't fail because they're weak. They fail because they're overworked. When cells are constantly under stress, mitochondria shift into survival mode. So the first step is to lower the drain. Reduce chronic inflammation, constant scalp irritation, poor oxygen availability. When the drain decreases, energy production becomes possible again. This alone can reduce excessive shedding within weeks. The one major thing that I have done to reduce my stress significantly, especially over a period of 25 years, when you are not sleeping properly, your body is releasing more and more cortisol, and that is increasing your inflammation in the body. And the reason we don't sleep at night is because we are so overworked and stressed during the day. After 25 years of constantly struggling with insomnia, with constantly struggling to try and sleep, I have finally found this one supplement that you can take 2 hours before going to bed. And then don't watch any TV, don't go on your phone, and don't use your laptop. And this supplement is a powerhouse. It is so amazing. I'm so thankful that I found out about this. And I found out through my own research and trial and error. I have been using this for 90 days now, and I can confirm this works better than magnesium. I'm telling you, it works better than magnesium. And it is this. It is a hard name to pronounce. It's phosphatidylserine, 100 milligrams. I'm going to show you right here on the screen. So for people who are taking SSRIs, you're not supposed to take this supplement. This supplement is only for people who are not taking any type of prescription medication. If you want to take this, then you have to go to your doctor and ask them the medication you are on, will it go with that? But this I take 2 hours before going to bed. It really decreases my cortisol. It decreases my inflammation. And I know this because when you have high levels of cortisol in your body, you hold on to most fat around your midline. And my waist is constantly shrinking every single month. And I've only used this for 3 months, like I said, 90 days. So this is a confirmation that this will improve your sleep, hence it will improve your cortisol, hence it will decrease inflammation in your body. Step 2, improve oxygen and blood flow to the follicle. Mitochondria often require oxygen to produce ATP. No oxygen, no energy. This is why improving local circulation matters. Gentle scalp stimulation, reducing tight inflamed tissue. Don't make tight hairstyles. Supporting capillary flow. When oxygen delivery improves, mitochondria don't have to struggle. They can function normally. Don't use a lot of gel and hair products. Let your hair grow first. Step 3. Support the follicle environment consistently. Hair follicles don't respond to one-time action. They respond to consistency. When the scalp environment remains calm, nourished, and oxygen-rich, stress signals drop, growth signals become louder, and mitochondria receive permission to increase output. This is where topical support becomes powerful, not because it forces growth, but because it removes resistance. Step number 4, give it 30 days. Not 3. This is where most people fail. Mitochondria adapt over weeks, not days. Within 30 days, many people notice less shedding in the shower, improved scalp comfort. Your scalp will not feel dry and itchy and inflamed. Stronger and more resilient strands. Not because something magical happened, but because the power supply was allowed to stabilize. It's just like your phone. When your Android phone is overcharged, it blows up. This is why formulations designed to support circulation, calm oxidative stress, improve follicle signaling, can even help when cellular energy is low. They don't replace mitochondrial function, they create the conditions that allow it to recover. And when these conditions are maintained consistently, the follicle will respond. Hair loss isn't random. It isn't sudden, and it isn't happening to you. It's happening inside you, quietly, at the cellular level. If you fix the power supply, the system responds. Not instantly, not magically, but steadily, the way biology always works. If this video helped you see hair loss differently, pay attention to what your cells are asking for, because understanding this one change can change your entire hair game. Then let me know in the comments down below and how you are going to take the next steps in order to improve your hair shedding, in order to improve your hair growth, and what exactly are you willing to change in your everyday life that you are willing to be consistent with. I would highly recommend choose one thing first, stay consistent with that. By this I mean, are you going to scalp massage every single day, 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes in the evening? Or are you going to increase circulation by exercising every day? Or do you prefer to go on the treadmill for 1 hour? Or do you prefer to massage the scalp 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes in the evening? What action steps are you going to take starting today, right now? Let me know in the comments down below. I want to follow you on your hair journey, and I want to help you grow your hair so that you can thrive in 2026. You can have the best year of 2026. You can have more hair growth on your head. You can have less hair shedding in the shower, less hair shedding in your hairbrush, and less hair shedding on your pillowcase.